host, Crystal Bradley, and welcome back to Crystal B Talk. Standing at 6'8" and 374 pounds, Dawand Jones is a wall you don't want to run into. From dominating at Ohio State to locking down the NFL's biggest names with the Cleveland Browns, Jones' size, strength, and a story that's only beginning. Dawand.
Hey, how you doing, Crystal?
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so happy that you're here. Now, in a couple words, how would you describe yourself? Like, who is Dawand Jones?
Oh, that's a tough question. I would say, I'm really outgoing, really just to myself. I mean, I know it's not one word, but, to myself. And the last one just have to be just humble, have to be a man.
I love that. Awesome. So can you walk me through the moment when you first got that phone call to join the Cleveland Browns?
I think the craziest thing was, I got picked up on day 3, and, so I was just at my homeboy's crib, my guy Jared, one of my best friends, and I was at his crib, and they were just watching it, and I ended up getting a call, and we were just in his garage chilling, and I see the 216 number, and I knew who that was, right away, and just being from Ohio, I got a couple guys on the football team from Ohio State that had that number, and just like, yeah, that's the Browns, and they picked me up on 11, and been happy ever since.
Been happy ever since. I know that's right. Now, what is your favorite part about being in Cleveland?
Favorite part? That's a tough question as well. I think the favorite part is going to the games, the sporting events here. Going to the Guardians games and going to the Cavs games. I think it's dope. Just seeing the other events and just seeing the fans. How much they really love our teams. Whether or not it's just the Browns.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing. The players, they show love. Like, Donovan Mitchell, he's really, he's really good at, just talking to us and just giving us confidence. That's pretty dope. That's somebody from the NBA, talking to you. The MLB guys, I haven't really connected with them like that, which I want to, but I feel like it'll happen, and I'm starting to learn that.
I love that. Now, what is your favorite food spot or favorite food here?
I'm a big fella, so I'd say my favorite food spot here is it's called Grill 55, and it's actually not far from here. I'm not familiar with the roads yet.
Okay.
I know I've been here for 2 years, but for sure, Grill 55 is probably my go-to spot. When I win a game or something like that, and I'll tell them to reserve this little glass spot for me. I'll go in there and chill. Get some good soul food.
Okay, so they sell soul food.
Yeah,
I love some soul food. That's pretty good. Now, what do you do as a hobby outside of football?
So football, I kind of just stay at my crib. I just really stay at home, my homebody.
Okay.
I play the games every now and then. I'm big into NASCAR. Like I said, I try to put my time with a lot of stuff. I try to go, like I said, NASCAR events, IndyCar. So like you said, you're from St. Louis. It's a gateway. That's one of the famous tracks as well. I would want to go there, and I think IndyCar has there, so I might stop there this offseason.
Awesome. Well, did you ever got inside one of the race cars?
Me personally, I cannot fit in a race car. There's limitations to the cars, and it's just cool seeing the guys go. Sometimes left, sometimes road courses. So I think that's my favorite thing. I have a fast car myself, and so it's fun. It's fun seeing the guys, be able to go 230, 240 in a light car and just go left.
And then the loud noises and all the commotion you like about it. I love it.
I think it's like the build up to the race. I think that's the main thing. Before you even start your engines, you see everybody with their cars laid out. Like I'm from Indy, from Indianapolis, where the Brickyard is at, and IMS is, which is coming up. I can't wait to see that race, and so it's dope.
It's dope. Awesome. Now, during the football season, how do you stay motivated?
I think really just looking at the just one game at a time. I think that's the way I stay motivated.
Okay.
Knowing that you have an expectation to hold up to it each week. Just looking at film and, you can't regress at all. Just that's one of our mottos, don't be a repeat offender. And so I think that's one of my main things I try to translate each week. And so I think that's what I try to focus on.
Cool. Do you have like a game time song that you play to hype yourself up before you play?
There's a couple songs, I don't think I can.
Okay. There's a lot. Okay.
Yeah, so, but there's a couple songs, a couple artists I listen to for sure.
Really? Cool. What is a song that you play on your way here?
On my way here, what did I listen to? I'm probably listening to a lot of Drake,
A lot of Drake?
Yeah, listen to not YouTube, but feature Chris Brown. So
Okay.
Yeah, off I forget the album, but he's got so many albums and so much good music. But I didn't even know it was on there until the other day. My homie told me, and it shocked me. And,
Really?
Yeah, so I think that was.
Okay, cool. Are you like an old time music junkie too? Like, do you listen to like old time music?
Yeah,
hip hop.
I'm into I wouldn't say everything, but mainly everything. Like I listen to country, like a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy, but like I listen to country. Listen to 70s music, 80s. It doesn't matter. Whatever is in my brain at the time is like what I want to hear. Whether it's just some soft music, whether it's Ivy Brothers, Temptations. I might listen to Frank Sinatra every now and then, but. Shoot, Morgan Wallen, like I said, country, and I could keep going, but my genre is just crazy. I get that a lot from my my peers. They just say you got a wide range of music, and I kind of appreciate that because music keeps me like a a real sane place. This is what keeps me going. Honestly, you talked about that's also another thing that keeps me going is music.
Is you just have a wide range of different palettes, so that's pretty cool, and it's good to have, to be very open-minded, so that's pretty cool. Now, going back, you have graduated from the Ohio State University. How was your experience there, and do you have any words of like advice for people that want to go?
My time there was some of the best time there I had. I would say those past 4 years were crazy. Just going from freshman year, not playing, sophomore year, COVID, having to deal with that. They moved us off campus and then moved us back on, away from everybody, which was kind of different,
Okay. During COVID?
No, but at Ohio State, it was tradition always, stay there freshman, sophomore year, then you move off, so we're freshmen and then got to move off. Freshmen now, they're not even touching the dorms no more, which, I kind of like, the dorms just, I feel like you kind of need your own privacy as a freshman, It definitely shows you, like, what is it? Character, I would say, shows you, like, making
character development?
Just taking care of your stuff, knowing that you got to share something with somebody. Also, sharing a locker room, but sharing your space with your teammate at home,
okay. Yeah.
Because you're right here, like, so sleeping next to your teammates, so you gotta make sure, so that's what I'm saying. Like, now you go to your room, there's nobody there, you get to just chill. And I think that was cool my sophomore year and junior year, you really found yourself. I was a starter, I still was trying to find myself, and I had a really bad game my junior year, my last game against Taylor North before we played Utah, and then I think I just had like just a moment, and Coach Mick, athletic director, but my strength coach, Coach Mick, just was like, you gotta come back, just come back stronger, and I just took those words and went to my senior year with a clear mind state, mindset, and I just was really happy with myself, and took the chance and went to the draft.
Did you have like an injury your junior year? Like, what was that rough patch?
The rough patch was, I just had a bad game.
Oh, it was a bad game.
Yeah,
okay.
But at Ohio State, you hold yourself, like I said, to that standard. That one game kills your whole draft stock, which is, kind of did. And I just, like I said, I didn't feel like I was ready. I went back the next year, and I just, I feel like I dominated, in my opinion. Which I did on tape, and so, which ended me up here.
Awesome. Now, will you consider yourself like a multi-talented athlete? Because then you play basketball too?
Yeah, I would say that for sure. I also had an offer from Cleveland State basketball. No, I could have.
Really?
I could have played basketball for sure, but I just seen the bigger picture, honestly.
Okay.
I wouldn't be here probably. I had a plan for basketball. I was going to play 2 years and probably transfer somewhere and do that route. But God put me in this direction. I feel like.
Yeah, God's plan. That's pretty awesome. Now, what is the words of advice for people that's trying to figure out like what school to go to? Since you was on a roller coaster yourself, yeah.
I think the words of advice is just follow your heart. Like I said, just you don't gotta make like a career like I did, but just give yourself check marks of where you see yourself. Like I said, longevity of coach, how long are they gonna be there? How long is your position coach gonna be there? Where have they, sent guys in the draft? I know not everybody gets the same quality of Ohio State. Still MAC guys and stuff like that. Still look at those things of whether they sent guys to the 7th round. Undrafted. Just make sure they develop their guys and got them there at least.
Got you. Now going back to hobby part, you have 2 pet turtles. Do you want to explain more?
Yeah, I got. I had 2 in. I want to say in college, but they passed.
Okay.
It just was unfortunate. But I said I was gonna get 2 more when I got to the NFL, which I did. I got my 2 turtles, Bobby and Valentina. I don't know what came up with the name.
Bobby and Valentina. Okay.
And then I got a tortoise. Her name. I thought it was a guy, but then they said it was my person that came up and cleaned it. She worked at the Petco and she took care of it. She was like, "No, it was a girl." And I was like, "Okay, well, I just."
Why you thought it was a guy?
You didn't know? I guess I just blanked out.
Okay.
I just renamed it Elizabeth, and it's still Eli technically, so I like it.
Okay, Elizabeth. Okay, fun fact. Awesome. What do you want? What is one thing that you want Cleveland fans to know about you?
One thing I want Cleveland fans to know about me is, I love the city. I love being here, and they treat me with pride and respect every day. Whether or not I go out to an event, you can just be a normal civilian and just show love here. I appreciate that. It never goes unnoticed by the players, other people.
Oh, awesome. Do you also think having a support system helps as well to stay motivated?
Oh yeah, like my family, they're my friends.
Okay. Cool.
And like I said, I stay with my best friends. They're here with me, so they support me all the time. They're in my ear. Just tell me to stay down, stay humble. Like I said, just keep going. Honestly.
Love that. Awesome. Okay. What is words of inspiration that you want to give to anybody in general?
Words of inspiration. I'm telling you.
What's the one piece of advice that stick with you since college that you think is meaningful?
I think just what one of my offensive tackles told me, Josh Alabine, was just like, never get too high and never get too low. I stuck by that for forever.
Got you. Awesome. So you're excited for this upcoming year?
Yes. There's big plans.
Okay. Yes. Well, thank you again for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yes. I hope the viewers and some fans got to know a little bit more of Cleveland Brown player Dawand Jones. And thank you guys so much for watching and listening to Crystal B Talks. I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye.